Hi, this is Barbara. I work at the Gettysburg Library, and today I'm pleased to be introducing our readings in recognition of National Native American Heritage Month, November. I will be reading 3 short stories today from Myths and Legends of the American Sioux by, Marie McLaughlin. The Forgotten Ear of Corn. An Arikara woman was once gathering corn from the field to store away for winter use. She passed from stalk to stalk, tearing off the ears and dropping them into her folded robe. When all was gathered, she started to go, when she heard a faint voice, like a child's, weeping and calling, "Oh, do not leave me. Do not go away without me." The woman was astonished. What child can that be? She asked herself. What babe can be lost in the cornfield? She set down her robe in which she had tied up her corn and went back to search, but she found nothing. As she started away, she heard the voice again. "Oh, do not leave me. Do not go away without me." She searched for a long time. At last, in one corner of the field, hidden under the leaves of the stalks, she found one little ear of corn. This it was that had been crying, and this is why all Indian women have since garnered their corn crop very carefully, so that the succulent food product should not even to the last small nubbin be neglected or wasted, and thus displease the great mystery. The Little Mice. Once upon a time, a prairie mouse busied herself all fall storing away a cache of beans. Every morning she was out early with her empty cast-off snakeskin, which she filled with ground beans and dragged home with her teeth. The little mouse had a cousin who was fond of dancing and talk, but who did not like to work. She was not careful to get her cache of beans, and the season was already well gone before she thought to bestir herself. When she came to realize her need, she found she had no packing bag. So she went to her hard-working cousin and said, "Cousin, I have no beans stored for winter, and the season is nearly gone. But I have no snakeskin to gather the beans in. Will you lend me one?" "But why have you no packing bag? Where were you in the moon when the snakes cast off their skins?" "I was here." "And what were you doing?" "I was busy talking and dancing." "And now you are punished," said the other. "It is always so with lazy, careless people, but I will let you have the snakeskin. And now go and by hard work and industry, try to recover your wasted time." The Pet Donkey. There was a chief's daughter once who had a great many relations, so that everybody knew she belonged to a great family. When she grew up, she married, and there were born to her twin sons. This caused great rejoicing in her father's camp, and all the village women came to see the babes. She was very happy. As the babes grew older, their grandmother made for them 2 saddlebags and brought out a donkey. "My 2 grandchildren," said the old lady, "shall ride as is becoming to children having so many relations. Here is this donkey. He is patient and sure-footed. He shall carry the babes in the saddlebags, one on either side of his back." It happened one day that the chief's daughter and her husband were making ready to go on a camping journey. The father, who was quite proud of his children, brought out his finest pony and put the saddlebags on the pony's back. "There," he said, "my sons shall ride on the pony, not on a donkey. Let the donkey carry the pots and kettles." So his wife loaded the donkey with the household things, She tied the teepee poles into 2 great bundles, one on either side of the donkey's back. Across them she put the travy net and threw into it the pots and kettles and laid the skin tent across the donkey's back. But no sooner done than the donkey began to rear and bray and kick. He broke the tent poles and kicked the pots and kettles into bits and tore the skin tent. The more he was beaten, the more he kicked. At last they told the grandmother. She laughed. "Did I not tell you the donkey was for the children?" she cried. "He knows the babies are the chief's children. Think you he will be dishonored with pots and kettles?" And she fetched the children and slung them over the donkey's back, when he became at once quiet again. The camping party left the village and went on their journey. But the next day, as they passed by a place overgrown with bushes, a band of enemies rushed out, lashing their ponies and sounding their war whoop. All was excitement. The men bent their bows and seized their lances. After a long battle, the enemy fled. But when the camping party came together again, where were the donkey and the 2 babes? No one knew. For a long time they searched, but in vain. At last they turned to go back to the village, the father mournful, the mother wailing. When they came to the grandmother's teepee, there stood the good donkey with the 2 babes in the saddlebags.